What's going on, everybody? Sean Daniel here with Guitar Control, and today, you better be ready because we mean business, and we mean blues business. So you want to click that link below because I'm going to tab out what we're going to do, and we're going to start with the blues in A. But more importantly than it being in A is actually how we begin, and is going to be with a nasty acoustic blues turnaround to let the people know that we mean business right off the bat before we even get to the one chord. So it's going to sound like this. Oh! There's nothing more business-like than starting a blues off like that, right? So, what is going on here? We've got the blues in A, which means this is just a basic kind of regular blues shuffle, however you want to look at it, however many bars you want to add, but we have three chords, the 1, the 4, and the 5 chord. We're going to make all of these dominant 7 chords. So before we get to the actual turnaround part, I want to just breeze through the chords real quick. The sound of the blues is kind of minor scale stuff played over dominant 7 chords. So if you do the blues in A, you can use a major chord, but that is not bluesy enough for our purposes. We need to get real down and dirty with this, A7. All right, so open A, 2D, open G, 2B, open E. Now there are bar chord variations you could do. Instead of playing it as a chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, you could do it as a riff, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Really, that's the cool thing about 8-bar blues, 12-bar blues, however many bars you're working with. You can always replace chords with riffs. Like this one right here is one of the all-time favorite ones. 5, E7, D5, D7, A. Can replace 1, 2, 3, 4. However you play it, open position is the easiest way to do it. We're going to jump to the 4 chord in A, B, C, technically C sharp, D, D7. Okay? Open D7 is a really easy one. 2, G, 1, B, 2, E. And then that's the 4 chord. We've got the 1, the 4. 5 is going to be E7. Alright? It's like an E major without your ring finger. So open E, 2A, open D, 1G, open B, and open E. Alright? What could be more business-like blues than those 3 chords? I'll tell you what can be more business-like. This awesome turnaround, okay? So the structure of it, we're just gonna kind of breeze through again. A lot of variations, but we're gonna start with the 1 chord, A. To D, the 4 chord, back to the 1 chord. We're gonna go to the 5 chord, which is E, to the 4 chord, and then right into this. Okay, so I'm going to teach you this, and then we can talk about how we can actually begin with this turnaround instead of waiting for it to turn around. So a lot of people will say, like, yeah, you can start some kind of blues pattern with the turnaround. I technically don't think it counts as a turnaround if it starts, because what are you turning around from? Nothing? I think it's more of an intro, but again, it's the exact same thing. So the way to play this is actually really easy. In fact, if you take that chord voicing, that D7 that we did, you'll notice that my middle finger is on the G string and my ring finger is on the high E string, and they are in line. They're on the same fret, okay? That's gonna be a very important concept, and using this particular fingering is also very important. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna take it all the way to the 9th fret right here, okay? And this is really important because doing it in this way makes you do this in any kind of blues. It doesn't have to be in A, it can be in absolutely anything. All you have to do is find out what note this is that your middle finger's on. Now, if you wanna do that trick where you take 2 strings lower and 2 frets back, you can octave down to maybe find out what fret you are if you don't know exactly what the 9th fret of the G string is. But it's an E, okay? So, again, remember we said that in the key of A, B, C, D, E, the E is the 5 chord, which in most blues patterns, when you start the turnaround, is going to be 5-centric because you're working your way from 5 back to 1. That's kind of how turnarounds work. So, we're going to start here, and you can think of this as like a 7-chord voicing, but we only need the G and the E string. So I'm going to pick, you can do this with your fingers, you can do this with a pick, however you want to do it. The G string, the E string, and the G string. So 3 notes. I'm going to walk it back 1 fret. 8, 8, 8, from A, G, A, D, A, G. Again, all this is tabbed out if you want to click that link below. Walk it back another fret, 7th fret. And then walk just the first part back to the 6th fret on the G string. All right, so 9, E, G, 8, E, G, 7, E, G, 6, G. Okay, so really good way to practice maybe alternate picking if you are using a pick. I'm going down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. Kind of moving directions with that pick. Something that's really helpful. But we're not done there. Oh no, not at all. Not bluesy enough. We're gonna walk it up to, remember the 5. We said the 5 in A is what? It's an E. We need to get that right before we go back home to A, okay? So a really cool way to do that is to chromatically walk from the 4 chord to the 5 chord. So if you remember, the 4 chord in the key of A, B, C, D, is a D, 5th fret on the A string, all right? Take this. Chromatic means it's kind of going up 1 note at a time. 5, 6, 7, D, D sharp, E, otherwise known as the 4 to the 5, okay? 4 and 5. And then you can start right back at 1. So I think this is a really cool way to kind of announce to the world that not only do you have blues, but you know how to use those blues. Sliding into this, walking it back, jumping, chromatic into the 1 chord. All right, however you want to play it. I can go from an A to that D7, back to A, to the 5 chord, to the 4 chord. Take this shape and throw it all the way to the 9th fret. Maybe to the riff. I'm just playing around in A, A7, go to the 5 chord, same shape. And from here I can just go into the... Alright, so just really one turnaround that actually is pretty versatile. I think it is a great announcement turnaround, intro turnaround, whatever you want to call it. Maybe there's a name out there, I don't know. I'm too bluesy enough to really understand a lot of the terminology, but I digress. It's a cool turnaround thing that you can kind of use to kick off a solo or something. Again, like I said, you can use this in absolutely any key, right? This is just one example, blues in A. Another really common one is the people's key, the key of G, okay? So in that case, we'd maybe start off with like a G7, all right? Which, again, a lot of different ways to play it, however you want to do it. That's the 1 chord. What's the 4 chord in the key of G? We can count through the notes in the key of G. G, A, B, C. We go from a G to a C to a G. The 5 chord in the key of G, G, A, B, C, D, back to that D7 again, to C7. And again, where do we start that turnaround? Remember, this one in particular always starts on the 5 chord. So we need to find out where there's a D on the G string. I always think one of the easiest ways to do it is maybe take some of the lower strings that you're more familiar with, 5th fret on the A string, octave right there. 7th fret on the G string. Into G. C. G. D. And where's that D? Think of it right here. And end on G. So, really versatile thing to do. I think the more important lesson, instead of just using this one kind of lick turnaround thing, is to maybe start being more thoughtful about, okay, where are these root notes that I'm looking for? Where is the 5 chord rooted? Because that's a very important thing, especially when it comes to blues playing, is always knowing where that 5 chord, that dominant chord exists, and how to get home. And really turnarounds are just any kind of creative way that you can learn or use, come up with, create to make your way from that 5 chord to the 1 chord, turn it around. You don't even always have to turn it around. Start it on the blues. You need to showcase your blues to the world is really the fundamental underlying component of this lesson. So I hope you liked it. Please feel free to get as bluesy what you want with this one. Mash it up, turn it inside out, add different notes, whatever you think sounds good. That's really in the spirit of the blues. So I hope you liked the lesson, and definitely click on any of these other videos around here because Guitar Control has a lot of cool instructors. Some of these videos are from myself, some from other amazing instructors, and definitely hit us up with some feedback in the comments because we always like to know what's working, what's not working, and what else you guys want to see. Until next time.